Good evening, everybody. Welcome to the last stream for this game week, the penultimate game week of the season. Only one more to go after this. Game week 37. If you mess it up now, you've really got not many more chances. One chance, in fact, to get it back on. Apologies for the late start tonight. I basically saw it was 9:30 and completely forgot I was supposed to stream. So I've quickly set it up. There is 4 polls, if you want to vote on them, which are Man United players worth buying? I know Rashford, Lukaku, Pogba might strike different opinions, but that's a lot of polls to do. So just one poll on Man United. Would you sell Eriksen or Son this week? A lot of people thinking of doing it, myself included. Is Sterling essential? Someone asked me that on Twitter. Kind of like that one because I'm thinking of bringing him in too. And your Game Week 37 captain, of course. Now, there's plenty of options this week, really. But only so many poll options I can do. So hopefully the main ones are covered. The title says Game Week 3. Should say, it says 37 for me. Let me double check. Oh, yeah. Do you know what? Who cares? Well, let me rephrase that. Thanks. I'll change it afterwards. Yeah, we'll get through. Sorry, slow start. We'll get through some of your questions in a sec. Obviously, I spent most of this around Man United players, Spurs players, even Hazard, Lacazette. 2 goals tonight. 2 goals for Arsenal. Will he even start the next game? And if he doesn't, I don't really like my bench this week, even though he'll probably come on against Brighton. I think I have to keep him. I think it's as simple as that. Unless, I don't know, unless Rashford's definitely past fit, which looks like it could definitely happen. Robertson, a captain option. I never like captain defenders. No news there really. Newcastle away, not for me. Maybe in a nice home game like Huddersfield last week. Even in hindsight, like even without 14 points, you'd have expected him to get maybe a couple of bonus and a clean sheet. But I think against Newcastle in an away game against Newcastle, Perez and Rondon have done okay recently. I've been saying it for weeks, but the pressure's on Liverpool now. They've had a bad result in Europe. If they lose this game, it's potentially title over. I'm not out of captain and Robertson this week of all weeks, to be honest. I don't think I will ditch Eriksen or Son, and it might hurt me. I don't know. I'm almost certain I won't get rid of Son. So it's Eriksen. So I could do Eriksen to Pogba. But I can't get Sterling in without getting rid of Lacazette. And 2 goals tonight at Brighton at home. Can I really get rid of him? You sense Pogba. I'm not actually that keen on getting Pogba, if I'm honest. 3-1 to Arsenal. So they're looking pretty certain to go through. In Europe now. Not certain, of course, but it's looking pretty good. Would I captain Sterling if I got him? I probably would. But Aguero hasn't blanked at home all season when he started. See that tweet from Neil earlier? No blanks. I think he'll score against Leicester. Zaha or Rashford if fit. I really think that's a tough call. Like, super tough, in fact. I'd probably side with Rashford just about. I don't really think I have a very good reason for doing that, though. It's not like Man United have been in great form. Obviously, Man United have got the better team when they are on form, when they are on it. Cardiff and Huddersfield versus Bournemouth and Cardiff. I'd probably side with Rashford, but I just had anything in it. Anyway, you're like number 10 in the world, Mr. Block. You should, you know more than me, basically. I'm drinking water. I just got a big bottle to make sure that I drink more water. If you bank the transfer, who to bring in for Game Week 38? That's a good question. I'm actually not giving it too much thought. I'd probably panic that Sterling's just scored a hat-trick against Leicester and I need him. I think Lacazette and Eriksen would still be the two I'd be thinking about getting rid, which is what makes me almost do it this week. Let's see. If Rashford's pass fit by Solskjaer, then Lacazette and Eriksen to Sterling and Rashford for -4 could be on. Especially, I tell you what, the thing about Rashford is, if Lukaku's out, that makes me a little bit more interested in Rashford, because Rashford would then probably, almost certainly, be playing number 9. I think he did better there than playing wide. Or playing as a 2 and a back 3, which has just been horrible for United. But yeah, if I rolled a transfer, I mean, there's plenty that could do. Obviously, leagues, top 4s might be more wrapped up. I know how much I need to chase. The Wolves have Liverpool, which might not be ideal, although they have done pretty well this year against top 6. Surely if you want to break top 10k, then you need to go differential. I don't think... I mean, how different you go, though? I'm only about 10 points behind it, and it's not a lot, really. You know, Captain Aguero could get me there if he goes big. It's not like he's going to be... I assume he probably won't be 100% effective ownership because of Sterling. And if I bring Pogba in this week, that kind of... I'm not going to want to get rid of him next week. It really does shut the door on Sterling. Is Sterling essential, though? Answer in the polls. Sterling versus Salah. I'd prefer Sterling, I think. I just think Liverpool's last 2 fixtures are not easy. Newcastle away, Wolves at home. You know, could they win both? Absolutely. But they're not easy games. They've got another game against Barcelona as well. Sterling's out of Europe. Leicester and Brighton. The Leicester game's at home. I think I'd go for Sterling over Salah. Personally. But that's just me. If you think Salah's going to do better... I mean, Salah's almost a bit of a differential now. What is Sterling's ownership in the top 10k? Let's have a look. I know Sterling can punish me, but... I know he can punish me. I know. It would be for a hit, yeah. I have no way to get him for free. Oh my god, excuse the audio. Started so soon. That does not bode well for the rest of the stream. Sterling's owned by 67%. Ouch. Son, 86.6% for Son. Wow. Eriksen only 37%. Jota 42%. I mean, I've got... My midfield 4 is basically template central. Only Sterling I don't have out of the top 5. Ouch. That's the thing, I'm kind of happy enough to captain Aguero, so don't know if I need to bring in Sterling as well. I'm probably not going to do it. I find out the top 10k on FPL Discovery. If you go to FPL Discovery, or just Google FPL Discovery because it's got like a WordPress website URL. Then go on to regular posts at the top, and then Game Week statistics. And then there's a hyperlink for this Google spreadsheet, and then top 10k players. But obviously, that's only showing top 10k ownership as of last week, because they don't know what transfers people have made for sure this week. It's interesting that people are getting rid of Mane. It really is. Like, let me have a look at Mane. How much money do I have for him? 10.3 for Mane. So I could get Sanchez. But Hazard is a little bit out of my price range, I think. Or is he 10.8? Or is he must be 11. 10.9. Yeah, it's interesting getting rid of Mane. I mean, I'm saying myself, I think those Liverpool games will be tough. I'm not sure there is going to be massive goals there. So it'll be interesting to see. Mane to Hazard for a -4. I don't know if I like that. Although, if you're going to captain Hazard, then different story. It depends. If you think Hazard's going to outscore Mane by 4 points, bearing in mind, Chelsea do have Leicester away on the last day. I don't know if that's that easy. Are you in the FA Cup? Sorry, the FPL Cup semi-final. Very nice. Good luck. Yeah, with Man United players, I mean, the one thing to kind of disclaimer the whole lot is we don't know who's definitely fit. So if Solskjaer says that Lukaku and Rashford are both not going to be able to play at the weekend, that kind of changes things. You'd think maybe Greenwood or Sanchez will come in. If they're both fit or if one of them's fit, it gets a bit trickier then because you'd assume like if Lukaku's not fit, it might just be Martial, Rashford, Lingard, maybe Martial, Rashford, Sanchez. Very realistically, not that likely for him, I'd say. Watford have their eye on the FA Cup. Hazard will bang 100%. I mean, they probably do a little bit, but I think the last game of the season is probably more eye on the cup for Watford. I don't know. I suppose you just don't know for sure. Am I going for any mini leagues? Good question. I think, to be honest, at this point, for most of the mini leagues, either I'm gonna win them pretty much regardless of what happens. Like maybe not actually. I'm 43 points ahead in one, so that would take something for them to overtake me. But they do have Sterling, and they will captain Sterling because they know I don't have him. So if he goes big, they could overtake me. That would be frustrating. But I mean, 43 points, I'd be pretty hopeful in 2 weeks of keeping that. Wow, I've just realised someone else is really close to me as well. Damn, who are all these people? One of my mates is only 40 points behind me. I don't know if he watched anymore. Sai, he used to come into the chat. So that's interesting. And then, you know, ones like the mods and cons league for Fantasy Football Scout, I mean, no chance of winning. I'm nearly 100 points behind Mark. All I'll say with Alexis Sanchez is do not buy him. It's way too punty. Even I know that. Maybe I should take a -4. Maybe, yeah, as Lloyd says, maybe I should block with Sterling. That's 4 points though. If Lacazette, the thing is, if I sell Lacazette now after keeping him for a few weeks since wildcard, if I get rid of him before Brighton at home and he gets a brace, there will be no hindsight. That would have just been a stupid move, and I'll regret it. So, as frustrating as it is, I just don't think I'm going to get Sterling. And when Spurs play the early game again on Saturday and lose to Bournemouth 1-0, and I've got to wait till Monday to see what Sterling does, that's frustrating. 1.9 million I need to fund Eriksen Sterling. Yeah, 90 minutes for Lacazette. Not liking that. How much did Aubameyang get? I think he got the same, didn't he? And they both got 90 at the weekend as well. So it really is tough. I don't really mind when my captains are. You've seen Adam's tweet about Aguero versus Sterling. Yeah, I'm going to see. If Rashford's fit, that changes things for me. But then if I captain Sterling and Aguero goes nuts, that'll be frustrating. Do I really want to block him in leagues? Maybe I do. I'm just going to be annoyed if I finish outside the top 10k again. It'll frustrate me. Just downgrade DFA. Yeah, but it's not enough. It's not enough. Or... Hang on a sec. Hang on a second. Oh no, 4 million. There's 4 million midfielders, isn't there? Yeah. There's no... I basically need 0.2 million to downgrade DFA to a 3... I've only got 3.8 million to do DFA. I could do Jota, but that's stupid against Fulham. You know, I could do Robertson to a 4.8 defender, but it's just all stuff I just don't like. Top 10k would be the third time I finished there, basically. What would I do with Firmino? I would wait and see what Klopp says. But if he's not confident about him starting or doesn't give us, you know, good vibes or whatever, I'd probably sell at this point. It's too late in the season to be holding on to someone like Firmino for me. Bernardo Silva's stats are better than Sterling's the last few matches. I think you're right there. I did have a look at them. The thing is, and I do like stats, but every week, if I gave you some money to choose between having Sterling or Bernardo Silva in your team, you would choose Sterling every time, I think. Now, obviously, FPL is a game with the management of money, certain amount of transfers, so I could get Bernardo Silva in for free. But I'd be getting him when really Sterling is the one I want. So just for people that haven't checked, like last 4 matches, Bernardo Silva has created... Bearing in mind also that Sterling has played 360 minutes, so that's good because he plays 90 minutes a match. Bernardo Silva's played 295 minutes, so he's missed what, an average of 10 or 15 minutes every game on average. So big chances. Bernardo Silva only 1, Sterling 4. So Sterling's still getting those really good chances. Chances created though, Bernardo Silva's created 10, Sterling only 5. Goal attempts, they've both had 11, although Sterling's had more in the box. And Sterling's expected goals is much higher because of those big chances. So in terms of like expected FPL involvement, so expected assists plus expected goals, Sterling is about 1 ahead. He's like 2.7 versus Bernardo Silva is like 1.7. In terms of just raw chances created and goal attempts, Bernardo Silva does come out on top just about, but it's not a lot in it. So, I mean, every day of the week I go for Sterling, I think. Hey Davey, how's it going? Live Sanchez transfer? No. Not a chance. Check stats for Bernardo Silva versus Sterling since De Bruyne got injured. When did De Bruyne get injured? I mean, that must be a pretty small sample size. Kevin De Bruyne. Where are you? So he got, the Tottenham match. So that's last 3 games. So I mean, I've checked last 4. So I can check last 3. So that'll be what? Game week 35. Oh, because they had a double game, didn't they? So game week 35 to 36. 35. Let's have a look. Bernardo Silva. Raheem Sterling. So, yeah, in the last 3 games where De Bruyne has been mostly injured, he played 37 minutes. In the Spurs game, so it's 11 So all of Bernardo Silva's goal attempts have come in the last 3 games. In fact, did he even play the game before that? Yeah, he must have done with 295 minutes. Let's have a look. Yeah, he only got 25 minutes in the Crystal Palace game. Yeah, so fair enough. Since De Bruyne has been injured, he's played 90 minutes 3 times. So he's created 9 chances. Sterling's created 5. He's had 11 goal attempts because Sterling's had 6. So yeah, fair enough. Since De Bruyne has been injured, Bernardo Silva does come out on top. Will that continue? I don't know. You'll need a good bench for the Wolves, lads. What do you mean? Best replacement for Wilson at top. I mean, you could just keep Wilson. He's not injured, right? You want to sell Firmino? You don't like that Newcastle game? Yeah, I mean, if he's fit, I don't think he's not an essential sell, but I wouldn't be too inspired by him personally. Do I think Liverpool are going to win anything? I mean, they ain't going to win the Champions League. Oh, sorry, yeah. I see what you mean about him hinting about rotation. Hopefully the big boys will all start. We'll see. I mean, I don't have a good bench, so we'll see. Yeah, Liverpool ain't going to win the Champions League, for sure. I mean, even if they could get 3 goals, Barcelona are going to score. And the league, I mean, yeah, of course, they can still win the league. It's only a point in it. But I do think Liverpool got a tougher end to the season than... The last 2 games are tougher for Liverpool than they are Man City, in my opinion. Have we talked about Man United yet? If not, what about Martial? Still benched. I mean, the hope is that he says a lot in the press conference. I think there's a chance that he starts, but I don't know if... I don't know. I don't think I would want to risk Martial right now, unless Solskjaer says something really positive about him. Thoughts on a hit for Vardy to Aguero if you don't have a Man City attacker? Oh, I mean, selling that in-form Vardy for a hit. But I don't see him getting much against Man City. And if you're going to captain Aguero, then I could probably get behind it just about. If Mason Greenwood starts and people are punting it, would be amazing. But again, it just feels like a punt too far. I think for players like Greenwood, you want managers to say in a press conference, "I'm going to give him a run out on the final game" or something. I personally wouldn't be putting him in. Lacazette, I'm probably keeping, although I could be swayed to Rashford. Oh my god, excuse me. Do I know when Ollie's press conference is? I don't. Tomorrow. I think he does his early, like 9 o'clock. Vardy or Lacazette? I mean, again, I'm not going to... If you had to pick right now, I'd pick Lacazette, I think. Just because of the fixture. Do you know what I mean? Vardy's got Man City away. 2 goals in 11 games they conceded. Can I see Vardy getting 1? Sure. Will he get a brace? Probably not. Is Perez a good final day option with Fulham away? I think anyone playing with Fulham is a good option, so yes. Why not? What price do I think Jimenez will be next year? I mean, he's nearly scored as much as Aguero and Aubameyang. That's insane. He scored more than Jamie Vardy. He's going to have to be 9, isn't he, I think? 8.5 or 9. Yeah, I wouldn't. They can't price him anymore because that prices him out. And I think realistically they'd have to think that he's probably not going to do as well the second season. And if they get into Europe, that makes him a worse option. If they get some more backup, that makes him a worse option potentially. So yeah, 8.5 or 9. I think 9 for a Wolves player would be a bit expensive. So we'll see. Like half the thing with the pricing is not to price a player so they're either too obvious, like you have to have them because they're just too good to turn down, and that you also don't price them out of most people want them. What's up, Tom? Oh, you missed Candyland. We can put it on though. Even though someone tweeted me earlier, someone said in the chat earlier they hated it. Going to be a lot of beers consumed watching your final stream. Yeah, I don't know if I'll be drinking loads of beer, but we'll see. Do I think the strategy I used for chips was the best? I'll be completely honest. I think it's super hard to properly analyze whether it worked or not, because I did okay with it. I'm happy enough with it. I can't really go back and say though, well, what if I'd done it this way? Because as soon as I change my chip plan, all my other transfers change as well. My whole strategy changes. Can I be sure I would have made X move or Y move instead of what I actually did? Given the way it turned out and how little issues I had with players being rotated, players being injured and stuff, being able to kind of do okay in the blank and the free hit and the wild card. I'm happy with how I played the chips. Obviously, triple captain on Sané was a mistake, but at the end of the day, I could have easily just put it on Aguero in the same game week, and it would have been amazing, and I'd be well into the top 10k now. So I don't think I played it too badly, to be honest. I was pretty happy with how it worked out. Next year, I think I saw Ben already kind of talking about next year a while ago, and I think the chip strategy will probably be played more like the year before, where you wildcard earlier, just because of the way the double game weeks are going to fall. But look, I'll worry about that in like 10 months' time. What's the plan for the summer? So the plan is, I'm going to do the last stream. People are going to ask me if I'm doing anything over the summer. I'm going to say I've got some ideas, which I do. They're written on my phone. Obviously, it won't be as many videos every week. Maybe like one. And then I'm also going to say, but then I say that every year and then I never do them and I just wait until FPL starts again. So that's probably what's going to happen. Worst transfer of the season, easy. Salah and Son out when they went on to score like 80 to 100 points over the next 4 game weeks. Stupid. Thoughts on Pogba captain? Brave. Maybe not that brave against Huddersfield, but it's going against the grain, that's for sure. Would I consider Zaha? I absolutely would. Is Jota essential this week? No, not essential. Tim peaking at the right time, 6k, 9 straight green arrows. Excellent. Will still be charged by Patreon? Nope, I'm going to put a stop to that. I also owe... Let's just do this quick while you've reminded me. Thanks to the producers who continue to support the stream. DP, Matchek, Gaz H, Melissa B, Tim W, Matthew H, Hayden H, Christopher M, Scott S, Jansky. Thanks very much, and to everyone that's kind of supported through liking the stream, subscribing, all that good stuff, and through Patreon as well. Much appreciated. I owe you a April post. I can say that... Let's see who won. Oh, it was a tie in April between Ian and Scott. So I need to work out who's won based on the rules that I put in. I think I put in most goals scored or something like that. Oh, geez, I'm going to have to go and work that out. So I owe you a post. Oh, wow. Ian got it with a triple captain in the last game week and scored 138 points. That is insane. So there's a tie in the April League. So I'm going to have to figure out who the actual winner is between Scott and Emmanuel. Ian. So I owe you a post for that. And then, so obviously the charge will go through for May, and then I will stop it for whatever. And then decide what I want to do with it next year. So thanks very much for everyone that supported through that. I won't even plug it actually below because Ooh. Yeah, look, I'm going to worry about UI and layouts and stuff for next season at this point. I ain't going to worry about it now. If Son is out, surely take him out for Pogba. Son will be in. Lacazette will probably keep him. I mean, Emery's not the kind of guy that's probably going to tell me he's going to start or not, unfortunately. But, yeah. The fixtures will be out mid-June. Yeah, I mean, I might do a video on fixtures when they first come out, potentially. But I find it quite hard to get back into it at first. So I'll see. Yeah, I might do a video on the fixtures, but I quite like waiting until FPL's fully back up. How do I see the Toon versus Liverpool game going? And yeah, a lot of people kind of saying like Rafa might roll over for Liverpool. I don't know him, of course. I don't feel like he's that kind of man or manager who would just roll over Liverpool or not. I think he's got a lot of pride. So he's going to want Newcastle to do well, and I think he'll set Newcastle up as he does. I think they've got a few injuries. I can't remember off the top of my head. I'm not going to check, but they probably set Newcastle up in the way he sets them up against a lot of the top 4 teams, or top 6, whatever I'm going to say. That's to stop them, rather than obviously attack them. And they have kept it tight quite a few times this season. So I think if Liverpool struggle at the start to score, that might make them a bit nervy. And yeah, you probably make a good point, Bestie. I mean, would any manager actually probably do that? Not many, if any. So I think it's going to be tough for Liverpool. And I think if they can't get a goal early on, then the nerves might start kicking in. They might start rushing it. And look, they've got the quality to beat Newcastle, no doubt about it. But it's St James Park. It's not even called that anymore, is it? But yeah, I think it's going to be tough. I think if Liverpool come away with a win, I won't be surprised. But I also won't be surprised if it's a draw. I really won't. So I think it's tough for Liverpool this week. Well, Man City are meeting Leicester at the wrong time as well. The only good thing for Man City is it's at home. Obviously, it's advantage City because they're ahead. I just think the way the fixtures have fallen now, the last 2, definitely advantage City. Oh wow, you're number 1 in your mid-league, 22 points in front. What do you think's best? £1,000 for first and only £50 for second. Wow, that's a big difference. Should I mirror number 2 team, the big hitters? I don't think I'll be trying to mirror. It depends how many big hitters, really. Like people were saying to me earlier about Sterling. Sterling's really the main man I'm worried about that other people have. And I could block them. I could take a -4 to bring him in and block and win those mini leagues. But for more than like 1 or 2, I don't know if I've been mirroring too much because you don't know what that person's going to do this week. So you could even be a couple of steps behind. You know, 30 to 40 points can be made up in a game week, but it's quite rare that happens. So 22 points could be good. Yeah, Luke, I've had that too. I don't really have a good reason for why sometimes it just clicks. It's just what I'm like, really. Sometimes gyms have been okay. I'll go every week, but it's the food, really. Sometimes it's good, sometimes it's not. When I focus my chances on defense or attack, I feel like it's got to be attack, right? Especially if you're trying to make up points. You think the higher ceilings are in attack than in defense. So I'll be focusing mine on attack. Although I'm not quite happy about having double Liverpool defence for the last game of the season, but we'll see. Made the mistake of last week game week by not blocking Salah. Yeah, but there's only so much you can block. You don't want to be blocking over multiple game weeks, I don't think. So I mean, it's a really negative and boring way to play. I think it's a viable tactic, especially with 1 or 2 weeks to go. But like 3 or 4 weeks out, not sure we're doing that. Is Sun Captain too risky at that? I think it's one of those that's quite different. And yeah, I suppose you say it is risky because everyone around you is not going to be captaining him for the most part. And triple for a very tired Spurs team that have just played Champions League. I think it is. I think it's risky. Yeah, if I'm honest, it's very different. So if that's what you need, maybe just go for it. Yeah, no more news on Joe. To be honest, the family's kind of asked for privacy. He's obviously doing everything he can to get better. The message on the Scoutcast was cool. It was good to hear that. I just think I know everyone thinks that people involved with Fantasy Football Scout got loads of news. They don't, to be honest. Obviously, they're there for him if he needs anything, but at the same time, trying to give him the family space and stuff. So, yeah, I don't know any more that's been said on Scoutcast. Just fingers crossed he's going to be all good as soon as possible. Though I think Sterling will be priced at 12 million next season. 12? He might be. Maybe 11.5. See how much he gets in the next 2 game weeks. Bernardo Silva or Pogba? I just think because of the fixtures. Although I keep forgetting Man City got Brighton. I think I'd go Pogba. I think I would. Even though Bernardo Silva has been very good. What happened to FPL Dan? Not sure. I don't have a newly promoted watch list, I'm afraid. I'm not clued up on that enough at all. We're going to do the polls in a minute, so make sure to vote on them if you haven't already. Click the little line in the top right hand corner, we'll get them done. Just checking something here a sec. Bum, bum, bum. If you had neither, would you get Sterling for Eriksen or Guerrero for Firmino? Like, if everyone's fit, I think I would get Aguero for Firmino. Just about. Who's been the breakout player of the season this year? Breakout. I mean, like, players that have done way more than I thought. I mean, Jimenez has got to be right up there. Like, right up there. Does Moreno get a sneaky start at Newcastle? Only if any other player at the club that has ever or could play left back gets injured. Wan-Bissaka Your game week 37 captain, Aguero, 47%. So even though Sterling's so favoured, more of you are captain Aguero. 36% on Sterling, so he is the second favourite. 7% on someone else, only 5% on Hazard, only 3% captain a Liverpool player. I do these polls on YouTube. If you click the little eye in the top right hand corner, you should be able to see them. I think you have to have annotations turned on to be able to see it. So effective ownership is their ownership in whatever it might be overall top 10k plus how many they've been captained by. So if I own Mane and he's owned by 60% of all top 10k players and 40% captain him, he's on 100% ownership, effective ownership. That means if I haven't captained him, every time he scores, that's actually bad for my rank. My rank will go down for every goal he scores in the top 10k. Now, obviously, you've got players outside the top 10k trying to get into it. And if they've not got Mane or they've not got a captain, it's still good for him to score for you. But yeah, that's basically it. I think that's right anyway. Matthew Higgins, thanks very much. And thanks for tuning in as always. Matthew has been around since forever. Don't know if he's been around since the first couple of streams. He'll be able to tell you that. But as far back as I can remember, to be honest. Salah season's coming to an end. Thanks always for your time. No worries, Matthew. Thanks very much. We do have a great fan base. I don't want to say fan base. Let's say community. So yeah, thanks for that. Look, we'll be back next year for more FPL chat. Some of it is like, we already know we're going to be saving chips for the doubles, etc. We're all going to be taking less hits, but actually we'll probably take more. We're going to go with our gut, but we absolutely won't, etc. But we'll do it all over again, and it'll be great. People say Sterling's essential, but captain Aguero because they don't own him. Yeah, but I think you can say that though. I mean, like at the end of the day, FPL is a game of managing transfers and stuff. So there's loads of players you'd like to have in every week, but you just can't. Deadline stream tomorrow, not a chance, I'm afraid. Next week though is going to be content. Now, life can sometimes get in the way, so no promises. But my plan is stream on Monday after the Man United game. Stream on Thursday, normal. Deadline stream on Sunday at like 1:30 till 2. And then stream at 3 o'clock throughout the games. And then maybe another stream to end things off, do a review of the season type thing, and just basically chill out and chat. So potentially 5 streams next week. We'll see if that happens. That's a lot of time. But the one during the matches at 3 o'clock I definitely want to do. So as long as nothing's going on, I've already pre-warned the family. So hopefully we can do it. How important do I feel it is to go into Game Week 38 with 2 free transfers? I don't think it's that important. I mean, it's always nice to have 2 free transfers, don't get me wrong. But if you need to make a transfer this week, do it. You've only got 2 weeks now. Don't waste time this week saving transfers next week if you've got no real plan for it. But yeah, again, Matthew, thanks very much for that. I do appreciate it. Right, people, I'm sorry. I started late. I'm going to have to finish now. I know we've not quite hit the hour, but it's late. I'm tired. Hopefully next week I'll remember on Thursday that I stream every week on Thursday at 9 or 9:30. And actually, maybe I'll remember it next week. It is the last week of the season, so hopefully I will. So yeah, this is going to be it now, before the deadline. I'm probably going to stick with this team. If I do anything, I think it'll be Lacazette and Eriksen to Rashford and Sterling. And I'll probably switch captains to Sterling as well. So we'll see how that goes. I think right now I'm more likely to stick. So that'll be it then. We'll be into the final game of the season. Hopefully this is a good one. Of course, hopefully I'll do the best because I'm still going... No, I'm not really going for number 1 now. I think number 1's long gone. But yeah, good luck in 37. Hopefully you close some gaps in mini leagues, extend leads further, etc, etc. Green arrows all around. Hopefully it's a good one. I don't want to be going into next game week having a bad week and losing much more rank than I already have. So fingers crossed for us all. And I'll catch you next time. Hit a like on the stream if you haven't already. Much appreciated.